Hello, and welcome to this week's Schreiber Council meeting. There was a lot to unpack at this week's meeting, starting with a presentation from the Library Board. The CAO report stressed the need for financial responsibility with purchase orders, and the Treasurer report shows a concern over tax arrears with higher than usual late payment notices. Now here is tonight's agenda. Thank you for watching.
Hi, I'm Linda Williamson, the CEO of the Schreiber Public Library. Along with the board, we're here to make a presentation to Council.
Okay, good evening. Welcome to our November 12th Council and Committee of the Whole meeting. First of all, we would like to begin by acknowledging that we're in Robinson Spirit Treaty territory and that the land on which we gather is a traditional territory of the Anishinaabe and the Métis. I'd like to call the open session to order. Can I have approval of agenda? I know we have under Committee of the Whole reports number 19 Christmas Jamboree, and number 20 we're going to put the Public Works furnace. Have we got anything else? Nobody's got anything else, not hearing anything, so any disclosures of interest in the open session? Hearing none. We do have a delegation tonight. We have the Schreiber Public Library Board and the CEO presentation of the Schreiber Public Library's achievements for 2020. The floor is yours.
So thank you for giving us the time to present this evening, and it'll be short and sweet. But anyway, we're here to look at our achievements with the Schreiber Public Library, and actually honoring and sort of showcasing our new CEO, Linda Williamson, and acknowledging the accomplishments that she has done in the last couple of years. Yeah, she's still, new at it, but doing very, very well. So we have a board delegation here. Does everybody know everybody on the board?
No.
Could we, do you mind just to stand up and give the town?
Hello, thank you for letting us be here. And my name's Marilyn Turcott, and I'm a member of the library board.
Terry Thompson, and a member of the library board. Chelsea Camito, member of the library board.
And we're missing Kelly Chisholm this evening. She wasn't able to make it. And we do have one new opening, so you'll be receiving some letters from us soon with new people coming on board. Okay, so we're just happy to be here. We're really proud of Linda. And we have a 5-minute little video that is going to highlight our accomplishments. Okay, over the last maybe 18 months or so. We've also given you, I believe, a copy of our annual report. Yeah, it's like a 2-page or a back and front little page. So enjoy.
Nice.
Yeah.
That was awesome. You're right, that was actually a really good video, yeah.
A little green thing.
I guess in closing, we really appreciate the support we've had from the municipality in our transitioning to a new CEO. It's been really, really helpful for us. So thanks very, very much. It really helps us a
I
lot.
hope you guys know that we really appreciate everything that you've done for our community, and you're the center of it, and I don't think I've heard a bad word about the library for 30 years.
Well,
Thank you.
thank you very much. Have a good rest of your meeting. Okay, take care.
Keep doing
Yeah.
what you're doing.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay, minutes of previous meetings. Resolution 279-24. Moved by Councilor Bryson, seconded by Councilor Burgeau, that the minutes of the council and committee of the whole meeting held October 22nd, 2024 be accepted as circulated. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Business arising from the minutes. Resolution 230. Or, yeah, 280. -24. Moved by Councilor McGrath, seconded by, you missed one. Second by Councilor Burgeau, the council authorized the donation of $1,000 to the beautification committee. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 281-24. Moved by Councilor Morrow, second by Councilor McGrath, that resolution 228-24 be rescinded in its entirety. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 282-24. Moved by Councilor Burgeau, seconded by Councilor McGrath. The council accept the quotation from ABCS 80 Brothers Construction Solutions Limited in the amount of $45,928.01, excluding applicable taxes, to replace the air blower at the Schreiber wastewater treatment plant. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Carried. Resolution 283-24. Moved by Council Morrow, seconded by Council McGrath. The council approved the quotation from Superior Country in the amount of $3,995, excluding applicable taxes, to allow the Schreiber Discovery Center to be listed as a stamp location under Superior Country's 2025 Lake Superior Circle Tour Adventure Guide. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Carried. Resolution 284 -24, moved by Councilor McGrath, seconded by Councilor Burgeot, that council renew the Lake Superior Circle Tour Adventure Guide advertising program for the year of 2025 in the amount of $500 excluding applicable taxes. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Carried. Resolution 285 -24. Moved by Councilor Morrow, seconded by Councilor McGrath. The council accept the quotation from DJ DVLD in the amount of $750 excluding applicable taxes to provide DJ services for the 2024 Township Christmas Social.
No. Pick the other one.
Yeah,
It's no longer available.
they had to, back out.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
All those in favor? Carried. Good catch, though.
Well, no, I'm still saying wait a second.
Which one was that, sorry?
This was 285.
Okay, remove accounts for payment. Resolution 286-24. Moved by Councilor McGrath, seconded by Councilor Burgeot, that checks issued on the general bank account in the month of October 2024 in the amount of $613,341.68 for general accounts payable be approved and ratified. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Carried. Resolution 287-24. Moved by Councilor Bryson, second by Councilor McGrath, that bank debits issued on the general bank account in the month of October 2024 in the amount of $59,831.93 for payroll be approved and ratified. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. No unfinished business, so we'll move on to other business. Resolution 288-24. Moved by Councilor Burgeot, seconded by Councilor Bryson, that bylaw 33-2024 being a bylaw to adopt policy G 2024-2 council life events recognition policy be given first, second, third, and final reading and enacted. Discussion?
Rhonda, do you just want to give highlights on what this is?
So, sure, this policy was already previously in place, it's just been updated. It's to recognize significant birthdays, anniversaries, and Citizen of the Year, Employee Years of Service, and Senior of the Year award that council, chooses every year.
Is there a way that, the birthdays and anniversaries can be advertised on our website?
Yes.
That we actually, but it has to be by request, right? The family needs to ask us, but there's no way that could be advertised, say, listen, we're willing to do this.
Sure.
Even a Facebook post, something on our website, that if we market it.
Okay.
Hearing no more discussion, all those in favor? Carried. Resolution 289 -24. Moved by Councilor McGrath, seconded by Councilor Morrow. That bylaw 34-2024 being a bylaw to provide for the regulation of water supply and sanitary sewer pipes in the township of Schreiber be given first, second, third, and final reading and enacted. Discussion?
Do you wanna give our, okay, 411?
Sure. So this bylaw is just for, basically pertaining to whose responsibilities from residents and the municipality in regards to the water and sanitary sewer lines. So it was a bylaw that was already in place. I do believe Tammy has just updated it to cover some newer wording,
I actually took part 3 out of it because it pertained to water conservation. And it's been added to the new policy that's later on on the agenda. That's the only change.
Okay.
All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 290-24. Moved by Councilor Bryson, second by Councilor Bergeau, that bylaw 35-2024 being a bylaw to provide for the regulation of water conservation in the township of Schreiber be given first, second, third, and final reading and enacted. Discussion?
sorry. So this is a policy that actually Aqua has been talking with Tammy in regards to just having something put in place that shows that we're being how do you say it, forward green thinking. We're trying to be conservative in our water. Anything you want to add, Tammy?
It was part of our water inspection that the MOE did, that they want us to be less reactive and implementing water conservation during periods of time. They want us to be proactive, so they are encouraging us to come up with a policy that will encourage water conservation on a steady basis.
So Tammy, in the preamble, you mentioned that the per water capita usage, what it includes, and for Schreiber 2023, it was greater than 1,000 liters per person per day.
Yeah.
So here's my question. We get monthly reports from Aqua that talk about water and wastewater treatment. And when they talk in here about water performance assessment report. So the way they express these numbers is cubic meters. And this is 1,000 liters, so does one thing have anything to do with the other? Because if I look at this report, we're always really good.
Cubic meters, there's, I might get this wrong, I think there's 10,000 liters in a cubic meter. So these numbers came from the MOE inspector, and he did the math based on an average of all of our reports and broke it down per our population that we're at the
Okay, and so that, these reports don't break it down by population is the
No,
difference?
exactly.
Okay,
So the MOE is recommending that we make it a goal to try and lower our water consumption to be more in line with the per capita for Ontario.
gotcha. It just seems strange to me that we never see anything. 3.001, on these reports that indicate, wow, our water usage is really, really high, because it always seems to be within values. So it just seemed, okay. And so you guys are undertaking in this new bylaw several different goals: public information and education, school programs, water use database, water loss management, regulations and enforcement. Gotcha. So I see the goals in here. Is it later to this bylaw that you're going to define who's going to do what with this?
How we're implementing it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yes. It'll be, we'll be working with the local schools and we'll be developing, some programs to educate. And, I mean, the best messages to, homes usually come from the kids when what they learn at school,
Right.
right? So, it's just a little bit of a tool for us to use, but we will be developing programs. This is just the first step.
Okay, and you'll be doing like education and marketing on our website.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the only questions I have. Anybody
All those
else?
in favor? Carried. Resolution 291-24, moved by Councilor Bryson, second by Councilor McGrath. That council adopt the Township of Schreiber 5-year community strategic plan. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried.
Sorry, Marilyn. Rhonda, this will be on our website, sorry.
Yes, it will be placed on our website now that council has adopted it.
Okay, excellent.
Yes.
Resolution 292-24. Moved by Councilor Bryson, seconded by Councilor Burjouk, that council authorize the refund of the community hall deposit of $275 plus applicable taxes, included in invoice number 9173. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. So now we'll move on to the committee of the whole portion of the meeting. So department reports and committee board minutes.
Pardon me?
So you missed the strategic plan
Damn it.
number 4?
Oh, yes, we adopted it, but
Oh,
I think what you're thinking, the implementation plan? Is that what you're looking
maybe
at?
I missed it, sorry.
Well, no, we adopted the strategic plan, the implementation plan. Did we want that adopted tonight? No? Okay. Just the strategic plan. Sorry, just catching up.
Department reports and committee board meeting minutes. CEO, clerk report, monthly update.
Yeah, so Marlene and Amanda attended the MFOA conference in Thunder Bay last month. It sounds like they had a great time and learned a lot and was able to do some great networking. Tammy and her crew have been busy getting ready for winter and preparing the ice in our arena for the upcoming winter season. Evan is working away at the 2025 recreation plan, which is awesome. He's planning his summer program coming this summer that will hopefully employ 2 summer students, funding dependent, of course. Economic Development Committee met on October 28th, and we've set regular monthly meetings to improve the management of projects, both current and future. Cecile, as always, is busy with the council packages and the upcoming Christmas appreciation dinner. Karen is doing well with her bylaw and implementing the dog tag system on the CGIS program. And our senior center, wow, what a success. They deserve applause for the high tea. It was a fabulous turnout. I had a great time, and it was awesome seeing everybody support their fascinators. And congratulations to Edith for receiving her Senior of the Year award. We held interviews on October 25th regarding our new data analysis position. Sorry. We had 3 applicants, and we have made our choice and hired Rashika Korkunda, or as we are now calling him, Keith. And he has agreed to that. So, yeah, he's doing a fabulous job so far, and it looks like he's enjoying it, and he's going to fit right into our team. So,
Good.
yeah.
Any questions for?
Well, the only question I had was on the state of emergency.
Yeah.
We continue to make repairs, and maybe you want your director of operations, but do we know when we can expect this to be wound up, finished?
I know that there are still some outstanding items. Tammy, can you elaborate, please?
We are getting close to the end. Right now, we still do not have both clarifiers that are ready to go online. We're waiting for the sludge return box to be installed on clarifier 2 while it's down already. Automation now is taking advantage of the downtime of that clarifier, and they've upgraded all of the motors on the rake system and the roof vents. So we are moving ahead, but until we can get both clarifiers operating at the same time, we have to stay in the state of emergency. But we're getting there.
Okay, move on to number 2 then, report on Lake Superior Circle Tour advertisements.
It was brought to my attention when looking at the Lake Superior Circle Tour magazine. We reviewed our ads that were currently in there. Some of the wording needed to be updated. It was suggested at the previous council meeting that we possibly have a photographer maybe take some professional pictures. The unfortunate thing is that the deadline for submission to Lake Superior Circle Tour is this week. There was no time to procure a photographer. So I did make a couple of choices.
Sorry, where's this one picture?
Which one?
With the lake.
I think that's Fort Lake.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Sorry, Rhonda.
That's okay. So I had updated some of the wording. I did include in the report the previous wording and what the proposed changes are, so that council is aware. And then, of course, the suggested photos, which again is up to council to choose. And I will have to get this back to Superior Country by Friday.
This picture here of Discovery Center is already in, it's already in Circle Tour magazine. To look at. It's designated as a stamp location,
Yes.
and,
Okay.
and that picture is there along with other information, so.
So that.
I think the picture that's there is good enough to one on the beach, like that, it's a nice picture. So this one here and others are already in
Okay.
magazine and along with some more information, because we're stamp location,
Yes.
we're getting more advertising for that.
Okay. So we can use the same photo.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have a nice photo of splash pad park area.
I know. I agree.
You could,
You know, like one of the ones from Tuesdays in the Harvest stuff or something. Those were taken by Bethany with the
Yep.
other one.
Yeah, for sure she would share if I asked her. Yeah.
That'd be an awesome picture.
Yeah, because you mentioned it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Okay, we can definitely do
That's
that.
good idea.
Yeah, I'm just trying to bring it up. Pictures that are there, one is of Discovery Center, and there is another one of the beach, the picnic table down there, and I'm not sure if it's one of the spots. That would also be something that you
Sure.
could update there with the splash pad.
Is council okay with the wording?
I'm happy with the wording.
Yeah.
The only thing I don't like about that is the reference to the internment camps.
You don't like that? No?
It's a part of history, that's,
I don't know, that's kind of negative spin. That's just my opinion. Yeah. I mean, that information is up at the Discovery Center, but is that something that would really be important to the general public?
is that on which the, first,
It's the second.
second first, sorry.
Like
Oh, I see.
it
Okay.
relates to the internment camps. Or my opinion is just. Is that a good part of service history? But
Well, you're not, I don't think you're necessarily wrong. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
What's council's wish then, to take it out?
Which,
What do you replace it with?
yeah, because there's wording. I'm gonna guess there's a wording count.
Yeah, so we're at the max. I mean, we can take that out and
Oh,
it'll still be okay. Yeah. We can take that last sentence out.
Council's wish, take it out, okay.
I can do that.
Those last two sentences?
Sure.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
Two right
yeah,
So we're good with everything else?
I think so.
Okay. Okay, try and get a picture of the splash pad.
Yep.
So away we go.
Awesome. Thank
Like,
you.
just one other thing that I thought about it. And we had discussed it at, the ESCO league level too, is how do you advertise special events that are going on in your community? And that might be an opportunity to advertise it, like, is there room for that? Like, for instance, the Winter Carnival, Heritage Days, any other special event that's got a specific date tied to it? Like,
She mentioned
crop, or crop fair, maybe?
Yeah, I thought I put something in there about,
Dude,
Is that in there? Specific dates?
No specific dates.
no, I think I just mentioned,
Like, that's just something that people are traveling around the lake. When you see July 15th to whatever, there's Heritage Days going on with Schreiber.
okay.
The problem is those dates,
Yeah, but you change it, I mean, every year you're updating,
oh, like you need like put the 2020
Yeah.
dates.
yeah, 25 dates on it. Whatever dates you have for specific events that you know of.
Okay.
For that specific year change.
Yeah.
Okay. We can do that.
Okay. Okay, we'll move on to number 3 then, purchase order system. Clerk report on
Okay, so currently right now, like just reviewing some of our policies and procedures and over the last few months, just observing how things are taken care of or who has what authorities when it comes to purchasing or spending money. Council sets a budget every year and managers need to make sure that their staff is following in within those parameters that council has agreed to spend. We're in a situation with certain departments where staff in past has had free reign at ordering without a manager's approval, and it's been very difficult to rein that in. So we are in a situation where some of the accounts are now over budget and have been for some time. I thought, if we introduced a purchase order system that would be on a centralized database, that everybody could access, what would happen is if a staff member came to a manager and said, we need to order 5 calendars, then the manager goes into the central database, gets a purchase order number for that staff person in order to buy those 5 calendars. That way the manager is aware of what's being spent at the time and not waiting for the invoice and like, oh my God, what is this? I think it just makes everybody more accountable. I think it's gonna be easier for accounting. The managers will have to cross-reference the purchase orders with their invoices when they receive them before they go to the treasurer for processing. The treasurer will know if there's a signed purchase order by the manager, then I'm good to pay it.
So for any dollar value,
I think for, yeah, any dollar value. The other thing I would suggest is sending a letter to all of our vendors, contractors that we deal with, businesses, to say, if you do not have a purchase order number, please do not fulfill the order or provide the service until you receive one. And that, yeah, it just creates more accountability for everybody, myself included, you know, on where, and I think it's gonna be easier to track the spending.
A lot of companies in the private sector do that.
Yeah.
Purchase order.
I have a couple concerns.
Sure.
I agree that we need a purchase order system. I absolutely agree. But will a purchase order system cause additional or needless work when small purchases are made? Would be my first question. And I don't know how a purchase order system is going to help managers track overall year-to-date spending, because they're not doing it now, and this purchase order system is not gonna change that. It's gonna, there needs to either be a way that all the managers have access to VADM, or that Treasury is gonna provide monthly reports to all the departments saying, here's where you are year-to-date. So I have concerns about that, and I guess I'd like to look at this a little closer just to understand our current system and what this new system would bring and how much work it's going to entail for additional work. I like the idea of that central database, a shared database. That's just going to give you a purchase order number.
That, and it's a place, so the Adobe form is fillable that I created, okay? So if you're saving it by the purchase order number, it's very easy to cross-reference and it can be saved on the same shared file,
Right.
okay? So, which is good for, you know, accounting or auditing. It's not going to create more work for Marlene or Amanda. It may create a little more work for department heads, but at the same time, I think it's a good exercise for them to be accountable for spending. When council approves the budget, and you know that you have $5,000 for office supplies, as those purchase orders and the manager's approving it, they should be able to think, I'm getting close, or, you know, ask Marlene, I don't know if it's Marlene or Amanda that does the budget variance reports monthly for the departments. So it's not like, you know, managers are not aware of where they're at, but I think this is gonna be an easier way to track it for sure. And it takes a little control back from staff just spending whenever they want.
Oh, I agree with that. I agree with that for sure. But I really don't agree that this is going to make it any easier for managers to manage their year-to-date spendings without like full access to that. To be able to pull up, for instance, the fire department, pull up fire department purchases and see where somebody's at. Because you're never gonna, you think of the number of purchases you do every month.
Yep.
By month 6 or 7, there's no way you're gonna remember where you were on purchase order number.
But
20.
your monthly variance reports will give you that.
And so, every manager gets a copy of a monthly variance report.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, and every manager gets a report that details their spending for that month and the spending year to date and the budget.
Yes. Monthly report. So what I would say, your current policy, does have a purchase order. It says when a purchase, who can purchase, it says at what point in time a purchase order is required. Department heads do get detailed monthly reports and budget variance reports.
Monthly.
So if your issue has to do with people who are purchasing outside of their authority, then you need to deal with people that are purchasing outside of their authority, right?
Yes, I think that's correct. I think that's a correct statement, but my bigger worry is that this is gonna be a treasury dump. This is just gonna create a whole lot of extra work.
it shouldn't, no, that's the whole thing.
It will create more work, I think,
Yeah.
for, really the director of operations who oversees the majority of the departments.
Okay, so Tammy, are you currently like, for Public Works, do you get a budget variance report at the end of every month detailing like what you spent that month, where you are year to date, and what your budget is, so how much money you got left?
Yes.
You get that report.
Yeah.
And you go over that report, and are you reporting to departments underneath you about this is how much money you have left to spend in materials, this is how much money you left to expect to spend in office supplies?
Yeah, I notify them when they get close to their budget, and when they go over, they're told that that's it, but I still get invoices.
But after the fact.
Yep.
And so will this purchase, so there's a good example, will this purchase order system solve that?
It will, because nobody can order without a manager's approval.
And that manager's approval takes the form of?
The PO number. So for example, let's say Cecile wants to order a magazine. She would have to come to me because I'm her supervisor and say, we have a purchase order for the magazine. So that tells me Cecile's ordering a magazine. I have to give her the purchase order number. So it makes me aware that she's spending the money and where it's going, right? And the same thing would work for Public Works. They can't just place an order for a replacement part without Tammy giving them the okay by way of purchase order. They can't just order, I don't know, supplies or anything. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, so now, will Treasury see the purchase order before the invoice comes or after?
After, because
Strictly after. And so will this solve some of the issues that Marlene's experiencing where she needs background data and more background information?
it will. All she has to do is look at the central database. If she wants more information, because it should be in there. If you look at the spreadsheet that I had created,
Yeah.
it'll say, we're supposed to put who ordered it, what the description is of the item, and that can answer her question immediately.
It'd be more beneficial to see the PO before you get the invoice though, so you can.
At the end of the day, for me, what I would say your issues are with purchasing are people, it isn't any of this. So if you're gonna put a purchase order in place, whether it's paper or electronic, I'm the last person that sees it. And I'm just gonna take after I get the invoice with all the backup with it, that's been approved by the department head. If I don't like what I see, it goes back, then I don't approve the payment. So
But then it's almost too late because you got the stuff already.
it is absolutely too late, like, because somebody has already ordered it and you may have already received your items. Like right now you have up to just under $1,000, you have, they have to be within council approved budgets, and your public works foreman, your recreation lead hand, and your recreation programmer are authorized to approve purchases for their respective departments up to $999, no purchase orders necessary. Anything after that requires a purchase order that is like from 1,000 to 2,500 is at the discretion of the department head. So there has to be, the communication has to happen at that point in time. And then there's more, as your thresholds go up, there's more requirements, and then who can approve. It just goes up the hierarchy, basically.
Some of the issues that I see is because there's that $1,000 threshold, I may get 2 invoices.
that are each under 1,000, but throw a budget GL line over. Will a purchase order system solve that problem?
Because, yes, then I would have an opportunity to stop the order before it happens.
That's right.
But you do have in your purchasing policy, it does say that you're not supposed to do, it does tell you in there that you're not supposed to do that. If you're ordering 10 computers, you order 10 computers. You don't order one at a time. There is a section in your purchasing policy. Maybe we need to go and sit down and review it with everybody again and say, you know, this is what you're supposed to be doing.
My concern is that there's a key when I'm reading for this, and Rhonda, and I agree with you, but I completely agree. You need a purchase order system.
Mhm.
I completely agree. I just don't know that the one that we're envisioning is the right one. I went in to visit the director of operations today, and she showed me here's a purchase order, and I'm like, okay, it's 2024, you know that, right? What are you working with? 2019 two-piece data forms? Like, what the heck is that? I just think that there's a better system, and so I like your shared spreadsheet. That makes sense to me. I like that part of it. I'm worried about the runner that's going to start here and go here and go here. I'm worried that it's going to be a treasury dump. That the treasury department is going to have
But
way more paper than
it shouldn't
needs.
be, because here's the thing. When council approves a budget, if an expense is approved in the budget, there should be no reason for it to come back to council for approval, right?
But it does.
But why does it come back?
I don't know. I've never understood.
It doesn't need to. If it's approved in the budget, it doesn't need to. If it's over the budget line or not what council previously approved, then it has to come back,
Right.
right? So, but it will not be a treasury dump. Marlene is receiving the invoices now, and Amanda, right? They are going through them, and like she said, if she has questions about what is this pipe for, she's gonna ask Tammy. If there's a question about what was this purchase for, she'll ask me or whoever it was, right? So this is going to alleviate that because the managers are responsible for their departments. That's where it needs to be. Managers need to be accountable for their departments. All Marlene's job should be is to pay the bills and to make sure that the managers are staying on track. It's not a dump on treasury. It's on the managers to be accountable for their department spending.
But doesn't the current policy, like Marlene said, do that? Like, should we not
Is that
just
correct?
yeah,
Our current policy does.
should we not just re-educate the departments on how to follow that policy, like you said?
I think that if you want to implement,
Just to
I
see.
think you need to re-educate. Council can set whatever thresholds that you want. I would, in my opinion, we are skeleton staff. It is a much
With a big
better
problem.
process than it was before when we were doing purchase orders. I think we need to reiterate where we are. And go from there to see, it may be implementing an Excel spreadsheet, like you said, just so that,
On the shared data.
On
That
the
makes
shared
complete
data?
sense to me.
but you still need a purchase order. You can have the summary of, okay, administration ordered 10 cases of paper, here's the purchase order, because it's required under these thresholds that there has to be a purchase order, it's done. But you still need a purchase order to attach to that invoice. Right?
Yeah, and so what Rhonda's saying is it's downloadable, it's fillable, and then you print it.
Yeah.
So you're gonna get the copy of the department head's gonna hold on to that purchase order until the invoice comes.
That's right.
And then the invoice is gonna get attached to the purchase order,
And go for payment.
because you've got a step 3 in here. There's an extra added step in your policy that says we're gonna do this, and it looked like you were going to treasury 2 or 3 times. So that's,
No.
that is.
I don't think you need to recreate your procurement policy. I think you just set up a spreadsheet
But
and see how you're tracking that.
But the thing is though, if you don't change the policy, Marlene, then nothing's gonna change in the purchase order world. It's still gonna be at that certain level, right? So the bad behaviors that are happening now are gonna continue to happen.
Right, if council wants to change their thresholds, They determine how they're delegating their power. It's their power as long as your procurement purchasing follows your international trade and your Canadian trade and all those thresholds, which it does. Spent 3 days in Thunder Bay on purchasing recently. So our policy as it is, there isn't anything wrong with it. What council has at their discretion is what thresholds are you comfortable with? Are you comfortable with the thresholds that are here? Or do you want to have higher thresholds so people have more authority to purchase without you knowing? Or do you want to lower them because people are purchasing, like, is there an issue that way?
I have an issue with the new threshold limits. With the proposed threshold
Yeah.
limits, I do.
Yeah.
Within budget, I don't. But it's the outside budget pieces I do. I have a problem with some of this new spending, threshold limits.
And that's where you can change it, it's just a
Yeah.
proposal, right?
Yeah.
Well, why don't we put it in place then and we can change the thresholds? Or you wanna change the thresholds first and then put it in place?
I think if you're gonna make a policy, I think I won't run to doing 3 or 4 runs at it, make one run at it and call it a day, but I'd love to see a meeting and then go over and finalize this, and then maybe if mayor and council wants to comment on threshold limits, that she can do one policy and then call it a day. Because here's the thing, Rhonda's she's smart. She's bringing this to us now because she wants to implement it in January. So we do have some time to play with.
I like the tracking though. I really like the tracking part of it.
If it's not a treasury dump, I don't mind it either.
Well, I don't think it's a treasury dump.
I just like to see the inner workings of it, I guess.
And this policy that's currently in place is not working whatsoever. It's a problem.
It is a problem, and the issue with it is that the way it sits right now, without having every purchase require a purchase order number, when it comes time to discipline or reprimand, the union plays a big portion in that because it's been allowed in the past. It's past precedence, right? So if we're wanting to change that, then we have to update the policy to have the language to say it. Or we're gonna have run into the same thing over and over every time you do something. It's like, well, it's been done in the past, it's been done in the past.
But that's not the only reason for changing the policy. The policy is to bring spending within limits,
That's right,
to find a system to do that,
yeah,
to update the thresholds, and make sure that departments are not going over budget.
that's right.
Those are the reasons behind what we're doing. It's not,
No, it's not just to
Protection,
control,
yeah.
no. But I am a firm believer that we all need to be accountable for our spending and we need to be transparent. And by having this tracking system, we're doing that.
Especially if you're doing monthly reports and you're dealing with a vendor that invoices late.
That's right.
You get a monthly report and it's not at all.
accurate.
No,
If you have a purchase order, you understand that.
that's right.
Yeah.
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 Okay, then,
I'd like to see you continue to move in this direction.
Okay.
I just think it just needs some tweaking.
Sure.
so overall, what she's got there, we're gonna change the, talk to you and change some thresholds.
Yes, I have a problem with some of the new thresholds. Honestly, the dollar values I do.
Okay. That's easy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, the food cycler.
Okay, so, how am I forgetting this poor girl's, Maddie from, I should have remembered that. Did a presentation to council, in September regarding the food cycler. She did talk a bit about their program. I know council at the time had expressed, after the delegation, that the proposed purchase of the 1,000 units would be too much, for us to manage. So in correspondence with her, I did say to her, what would half of that be? Like, because you were talking $10,000 for 1,000 units. So if we did 500 units, it would be the $5,000 initial investment. So what she is saying is that if we do not purchase the 100 units, then with that, we are not going to get their assistance with tracking the sales, promoting the sales.
I do want that.
We're kind of on our own.
Yeah.
But they have no problem with selling us the units at cost, but just not giving us the support. So if council is interested in still doing the program, she did make suggestions. She had suggested that we either partner with a neighboring community and purchase the whole minimum order and share the costs. Do an expression of interest campaign and take pre-orders from the residents, just so we could see how many people are actually interested in the unit, or purchase the 50 units and promote and sell them on our own.
I think we should do the expressions of interest,
I agree.
just to see what's out there.
I agree.
I mean,
And I
it
think
fits,
it backs up your recycling program.
it fits right in with the recycling program, and you see more and more recycling out, every time.
I missed the presentation, but they also say, they will buy them back after 1 year.
Yes, so, but that's only if you do the 100.
That's if you do the 100.
Yes, then you have the buyback offer.
Yeah.
So whatever you don't sell within 1 calendar year of receiving the units, they'll
Yeah.
purchase back.
You think this is something people will buy? Like I said, I missed the presentation, so.
Honestly, when you think about my garbage, I'm able to bring cardboard, can go in recycling, plastics can go recycling, cans can go in recycling. I'm down to about 1 can of garbage every 2 weeks. You know what the bulk of it is? Food stuff. So if I could take that, use that machine, recycle and put it into my gardens, be perfect. And the other thing for this single woman who lives at home and doesn't have any type of firearms license, I think that it would cut down the amount of smell coming from my garbage can in this spring, summer, and fall. You know what I mean?
Interesting point too, yeah.
Well, I just think with my bears, I'm trying to hide garbage cans at my house. And I agree with the mayor. If you do a pre-order, you might be surprised how many people, if you market this, would go, hey, yeah, that's an excellent idea. I tell you, I would buy one.
Yeah, I really think we should market it, we'll get a good person on there and get it out, and just, we'll see, and then that'll dictate our next move.
You wouldn't use it, Benj?
Probably not.
He's honest.
It's busy, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just,
Yeah, I don't know if you don't original stuff.
Hmm?
But we don't original stuff.
It's easy enough, holy Hannah.
Actually, we had a lady who kept 5-gallon pails in her back porch in another community that this
Yeah.
program ran through, and she would just dump her bucket until spring, yeah.
definitely move some of them for sure.
I would just put a survey out.
Right?
Yeah,
And if,
exactly.
and if there's one
See
order, you're
what
gonna
it
know it
is.
was me, and if there's 100, you're gonna say, well, son of a gun. People are interested.
Okay.
So it's gotta be a survey like, would you definitely, not like, well, you think this is interesting, right?
Yes.
Because 1,000 people could think, oh, that's a great idea. That
Well,
doesn't mean they're gonna fork over the cash for these things.
Yeah.
yeah, but with the
Yeah.
with the 100 unit purchase though, like if we did have 100 responses saying yes, and they didn't buy them, like Councilor McGrath said,
Yeah.
the company will take them back.
Yeah,
So
should I take that back? My wife would buy one for sure.
Really? Are you just trying to?
No, I.
Okay. It's
I would
slick.
use it, she would.
Note that.
Make
Watch.
sure Erica hears about this.
Yeah, that's fun.
Okay, let's move on to number 5 then, Christmas Bazaar.
Okay, so Holy Angels Catholic Women's League Christmas Bazaar is an annual event that is coming up on November 17th. They have approached myself in regards to asking council for a reduction in the rental of the hall for the event of 50%.
don't think that's an unreasonable request, considering the amount.
Why didn't they apply for a grant and aid?
We did.
We advertised it twice. That would be my only thing. I got no issue, but, like,
Okay, so I have an issue. And it's not against the Catholic Women's League, who I admire. But last weekend I attended the Anglican Church Christmas party and tea, and they paid full price for the hall. They also had little notices on all their tables, and then some of the proceeds to their chicken patty tea and their draws and their penny auction and stuff were being donated to the Harvest Cupboard Food Bank, which I thought was awesome. We did this run last year, remember, it was grant and aid, and we said to the Anglican Church, we said we only had a certain amount of money left. We would split it in half, give half to the Anglican Church and half ACW and half to the CWL. And the ACW said, do you remember? I said no. We don't want a reduction on the hall. We understand that there is a cost to running that building and we're prepared to pay our share. So I guess I bring that forward to say, when the ACW and the CWL are running funeral lunches, we never charge them for the hall, and I think that's right. I think that's exactly the right thing to do. But when they're running a fundraising event for profit, I have a harder time being sold on that they should get a reduction. And if you're going to give them the reduction, then I'm going to insist that you get a hold of the ACW and offer them the same.
But it's not really for profit, so they're not having a fundraising event for profit.
No.
Or their organization.
That's
to
you're
raise
right.
money to support many parishioners and provide assistance to those in need, so it's not for profit.
No, it's not for profit. I'm sorry, you're right, I misspoke. They're having a fundraising event to raise money.
For people in the community.
Right.
Isn't there, like, I mean, if you want to get further into it, isn't there a policy out there that maybe we gotta, I mean, I don't think we would, but I mean, let's see the books. Like,
That's for grant and aid.
not for grant and aid, but I mean, I'm 100% with what Anne Marie said.
Yeah, when you kind of summarize that, I would agree with you.
Because last weekend was the ACW, this weekend's the CWL, and they're not exactly the same, but they have the same purposes, Dan. They are serving their parishioners. I completely understand.
Can we discount?
You'll see,
We don't discount one and discount another. That doesn't feel
No, that's
fair.
what I'm saying. Can we do both?
you'll see further down in the agenda here, and I can't even remember who was at the hall. I'm not saying anything about that, but you'll see no charge, no charge, no charge, no charge, no charge.
Yeah.
On the recreation report.
So, I mean, you do have to maintain that building, you do have to heat that building, it's starting to get a little cool, we found that out yesterday.
Turn on
There's all
coolers.
kinds of maintenance up there.
Turn on stoves. I mean,
But we have discounted renting the hall to students who are having a graduation party.
but they went through the brand new process.
yes, they did.
Yeah, but with students, there's always an opportunity to fundraise. And
Yeah.
That's the difference.
My only statement is this: if we're going to do this for the CWL, if we're willing to CWL, I have nothing against them. Please know, then I think it's only fair that we do it for the Anglican ACW group, who run virtually the same
Yeah,
event.
I'm okay with that.
Well, I can't keep giving it away, I mean, I won't, maybe we'll go around the table and I won't support it. Dan?
Yeah, I'm okay with the request.
Steve?
Yeah, I'm okay with if we do, like Anne Marie said, and then we remind them again that grants and aids, there's a process. so we don't have to have the same discussion next year. So I would only do it, like, I agree with your arguments, if we only bill the other group 50%.
I think that's fair, but I would agree too that, yeah, it should have went through the grant process. But that's the reason for it, right? Like, we can't keep entertaining everybody that comes to the table and wants a discount, but there's.
And then they wonder
there's a
why,
way to go about it.
and then everybody scratches their head when their taxes go up, cause you're subsidizing everything that goes on up there.
Yeah, I agree, but then we're in a public meeting and we're saying no to a church, we look like jerks.
We do.
Right about that.
So, you
No,
put us
right.
between a rock and a hard place here, like, what do they expect?
Like if you applied for a grant aid, would you apply for a 50% discount, or would you apply for
They could have applied for the whole thing.
100% discount, or is there a difference? Then the difference, is there a difference?
Yeah, with the grant and aid, they would've got the
Just a
whole.
second.
They would've got it for free, here they're asking for just 50%. Which is why the question was, why didn't they ask for a grant and aid? Well, they're not asking for a 100% discount, they're only asking for a 50%
Yeah,
discount. And I agree with you, like, I mean, if it's a church raising money for people in our community, then all churches should qualify for the discount.
I think groups need to know, should you want a discount on one of our facilities, you have to go through the grant and aid process. Otherwise, we're in this situation again. Is that fair?
Yes.
The budget variance indicates that the grant and aid still has a full complement of funding, but I know that we have pre-approved
The
the North Shore Harvest covered.
because they follow the process.
Yeah. So I don't know how much of our original budget we have left on our
It was $1,000.
Pardon me?
The grant and aid was $1,000.
For the food cover.
For the food cover?
And what was the total?
So we have a budget of 3,000. So we have 2,000 left.
So 50% discount, what would that add up to? Dollars,
It's roughly, yeah.
$400?
I'm sorry. And you're right, I feel like a jerk saying to my home church, I don't agree with this, but it's maybe because they're back to back, these events, it just came so glaringly there.
I won't support it, cause I look down and see no charge, no charge, no charge, no charge. And we may as well just let everybody do it and give everybody a key. I mean, I know it's not that bad, but
I know, it's frustrating.
it's frustrating. And I'll get it tomorrow on the street, whatever.
So we have Dan with the yes, Dave with yes with the changes. Recommended changes, am I reading it right? Bench?
I agree with Dave, if we do for the other,
So what are you going to offer it to the other church, or are you just gonna bill them for 50%? Because what if the other church comes back and says, no, I'm paying my fair share?
Because that's what happened last year.
So what do you do then?
Well, you don't ask them, you just bill them 50%.
And you get the grant and aid application to whoever's in charge of the CWL, and so this is the only way this is gonna happen ever again.
Until next year.
No, well, next year it's just gonna be no's.
Okay. So
And
it's
I'm sorry,
So
so I'm
three-
gonna,
three to-
and my vote is no.
3-2 in favor of giving the CWL 50% reduction if the other church agrees to the 50% reduction.
Yes.
Am I right or wrong?
I thought we just give the 50%.
Yeah, I thought we were just giving them 50.
Well, what if they give the 50% back and say, no, I'm paying, like,
Yeah, I don't know. Well,
okay.
I really
3-2 then.
No, it's not.
It's kind of gray. They just put me as a no.
Yeah, then put me as a no.
But it's too gray, like, if this person says yes,
Yeah.
just.
No, it's 3-2.
No,
and
I'm
give the,
No, I
give
would-
I
give
know,
the other
but
church the 50% back and see what happens.
No, just put it on, no. That's the right thing to do.
And this-
Okay.
We should have to try to push on it out here. No, it's a mistake, that's good. We're good.
Okay.
Okay.
Treasurer report, property tax arrears analysis.
And now we beat up Marlene.
So the purpose of the report is to provide council with an update regarding property tax arrears totals. The final installment was October the 31st for the 2024 taxes. Letters were sent out November the 5th. There were a total of 256 notices that were sent out. Of those notices, 57 were noticed of pending tax registration come January 1, should the accounts remain eligible. So in order to be eligible, January 1, 2025, that means that there would have to be arrears owing pertaining to the 2023 taxation year. The total arrears is $763,088. Of the 57 final notices that were sent, that balance is $402,701. There are 10 previously failed tax sale properties or properties that have a certificate are registered on title already, and those total $87,855. So we encourage everyone who received a notice, whether it's a final notice or just a regular notice, to please pay before the end of the year to be out of registration eligibility. There, as a comparison, just for fun here, there is an increase over 2023. In 2023, we sent out a total of 229 notices, so that's an increase of 27.
So therein lies my question, because I'm comparing it to 2023. So you got an increase right across the board. So what do you attribute that to?
I think a lot of it has to do with the current state of the economy right now.
Okay.
So of the 57 final notices, how many do you think?
I've estimated it, I think, at 12.
12 will be remaining?
Yeah, I'm thinking there's a strong potential that 12 of them will be eligible come January the 1st. Again, no crystal ball, but
And how many did you have eligible last year?
eligible were 48, and I ended up only registering one.
One? Okay, so
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
a big increase, so
Mm-hmm.
We'll
if
put
your
out a,
guesstimates are right, yeah.
sorry,
I said that's a big increase, like if you're guessing 12 and last year was only one, that's a big,
one that I ended up registering.
that's what I mean,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you're thinking that you may
Yep.
register 12 this year.
I think there is a strong
Yeah, so
potential.
that's a big increase.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we encourage, and people have reached out in the last week, but I do encourage anyone to get everything at a minimum, make sure that you're paying out your 2023, because as soon as it's about $650 off the top to have that process started. So it's really in your best interest to pay off what is gonna make you eligible, and for those people that still owe either the last quarter or a portion of 2024, get that paid up before the end of the year too. So we'll do it, we'll put it out on our social media reminding people that the due date, we'll get that done this week.
If someone is unable to pay them by the end of 2024, Marlene, are you the right person to come to see to make some type of other arrangement?
So I'm kind of limited in what I can negotiate with somebody, but I do try to work with people as long as they're coming and saying, look, I can pay X amount of dollars by this point and I can have the balance by this point. And knowing that whatever that balance is, they have to take into consideration the interest and penalty that's going to accrue in that difference in time. I don't like it to go any later than January usually, because it's not doing anybody any favors.
But given the current state of the economy, and we have people who are not gainfully employed at the mill, is it fair to say publicly that we can encourage, if you are going to be in arrears, that come and make arrangements rather than just let it slide?
Yeah, don't let it slide.
Okay.
Do not let it slide. And I think the goal is to make sure that if we're going to be doing a payment plan, number one, that it's going to take into consideration the arrears, the interest, and whatever that current amount is, and to be caught up within the year, basically. But don't hesitate. That because 1.25% is 15% a year, so
It's a lot of money.
it is a lot of interest to be paying.
So if they were going on the payment plan, Marlene, they would come and see you. You would be the person.
As long as before eligibility time.
Okay.
If
Before eligibility.
Yeah, after that, it is proceed to tax registration, and then it's an extension agreement if it's recommended, because it really comes down, any recommendation is gonna come down to what type of payment history and that they had, right, with the office, because if there's somebody who hasn't.
But we would rather collect taxes than collect homes or businesses.
Yeah. Yep, we're not in the township, no township is in the business of trying to take someone's, to sell houses, that's not what we do.
No, it's not what we do.
So we strongly encourage people to make their property taxes a priority.
Okay, thanks for that report. Budget variance, quarterly report January to September 2024. Number 7, you wanna go through that?
Sure. So this is the new, it's like a newly implemented format. We started it at the January to June one, so I guess I'm looking first is any feedback on the format. I would say that both in general, for the January to September budget variance report, revenues are on target, as are operating expenses. And the other question that I had for council is it your preference, do you want the detailed listing, do you want the attachment B going forward? That was always I wasn't sure. There had been some say yes, some say no. So it was like, do you or don't?
Yeah. You know,
I'm with you.
yeah, so no, and if somebody should want it, Marlene, we could always go and see and get it.
Yeah.
I love the new report,
Yeah.
and I see where we're all on the lines that say the overall department revenues or expenses are on target. But I would like you to spend just a little bit of time on the ones that are not on target. Just to kind of give us a highlight. It's good to know that we're 75% through 2024, and overall we are on target, but there are some problem children. If you want to start with revenue.
Yep. So we have a couple that are a little higher than what we're expecting. One that's reconciled at year end. Where are we here? On target.
Like I'm looking at handy transit. That looks severe for revenue.
Well, we should go to that detailed report because maybe there's a typo in my.
I looked at that and thought, whoa, that's out.
Let's look. That could be an input error.
Sorry, Mark.
Oh, okay. So
Because
that's
for a change,
that's what
I didn't
this
look
is
at
for.
I didn't look at the detail. I looked at this report and went, holy.
5,200 that is.
Like you got an 87% variance on this thing. Woo!
Oh, that's because that is a year end, I should have put that in there, so we budgeted, at the end of the year, we processed, cause the handy transit is shared expenses and revenues with the township of Terrace Bay, so that variance, the numbers are correct according to the report. But it's due to the fact that I don't set up the revenues, Terrace Bay's share of the revenue till year end.
Okay,
So for fees and charges, we had budgeted $9,800 in total revenue. And we're at 8237, so we're just wonderful, we're great.
oh, okay.
So,
Because I had a slight heart attack. And then the senior snow right behind it. And
that is really dependent on the number of winter events, so you may recall, as we all remember warmly, how wonderful the winter of 2024 was, and I'm very hopeful for the end of the year and for 2025.
so if the revenues are less, can I guess that the expenses are as well?
They are, I do believe, your snow events, yes.
Okay, so they actually balance each other out.
Yeah.
Even though this shows a variance.
Yeah.
Okay. And are there some departments you want to talk about on the expenses?
We have a note here that the medical center likely slightly over budget. Tammy, do you remember why?
I'm sorry, I wasn't.
The medical center, that it's over, it will slightly be over budget.
I actually just got those variance reports from Amanda today, so I can look at the budget lines that are over.
Okay, so you don't recall, this is based on September.
Don't recall.
Let's see if we get something in our Excel spreadsheet.
Is that supplies?
Yep, nope, I got nothing right now on why the note is that it's slightly over budget. Sorry. I do have for sewer, there was a chemical reconciliator or reconciliation, and cemetery is slightly over for expenses. That's due to the
vault.
Yeah.
Okay.
Landfill expenses are adjusted at year end. It's dependent on we share revenues and pay half the expense on that
So
one.
again, don't have a panic.
Nope.
Okay. How about bylaw? Overall department expenses are under budget. How come?
See what the note is. I think it's due to our bear control.
Oh,
Off the
okay.
top of my head.
Okay.
That's what but I'm going to double check because I don't want to. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if anybody else has a line question. I like the new format. It's clean, it's easy to read. And I go through these, I would keep this, but does anybody else feel like we need it? No. So the general is the attachment, no.
My note.
And thank you for timeliness and budget variance reports on track.
So then we have, can we move on to the next one? Okay. Just want to put this back. So then we have the capital variance report. I'm just gonna pull that Excel spreadsheet up. Um, so out of the list here, our asset management compliance has not been started yet. Asset retirement obligations is in progress. I'm not sure where we are with the energy plan. I thought that, the acting CEO, Rosalie, I thought she had started that, but I don't know where that, is. Strategic plan is, we adopted it this evening, so that is completed. We're just waiting for the final billing, because again, this is all balances as of the end of September, not,
Okay,
fire.
and then that grant will be closed off, right, and reported?
Added in the air monitoring equipment, that was a donation, so that was completed, that's in the fire department area. Some of them, the projects were completed in September, just haven't been invoiced to the end of September. The municipal complex roof repair, there's a note here that was completed in October, so it's not showing up in your balance for the end of September, and it will be over by 12,000. Phone system hardware is complete. I don't have an update on the old firewall repair. CLIECA, Tammy, you might be able to talk about, but that's in progress. We've added in the two resolutions, 120 and 194, that were passed for lighting and heating at the wastewater plant and pumping of clarifier 2. That totals what, $62,000 approximately, that was not budgeted for. And those items occurred before the state of emergency. ESA upgrades are in progress. At the time of doing the report, it was thought that they would be completed by the end of December. Are we still on target for the end of December?
No.
No, so that'll be a carry forward into 25. The blower in the cabinet is completed, but we're just waiting for the invoices now. Did you determine on the installation whether that was included or not, or is that gonna be a
That's
resolution?
included with automation now.
Okay. Aeration system repairs, you said were not started, but they are in the state
Well,
of emergency.
The state of emergency trumped it, so I'm not spending that $10,000 on the aeration system repairs, cause it was done with the other repairs that we did it.
Okay.
Suite is complete, the smart meter, post chlorination, we're waiting for the invoice. As Tammy reported earlier on, the chlorine system critical spare parts have been ordered but not invoiced. Waiting for invoices for both the fast pump and the roof at the water treatment plant. And again, intake screens are finished. Community hall sign has been ordered. The heating upgrade is complete at the arena. The ice plant is, that's complete as well.
Yeah.
The roof is in progress. Was that in progress at the end of September?
Done too.
And Asbestos Drive was completed, and the picnic table is finally coming.
So we're on track then, for the most part, we're on track with capital.
Couple items that are not, that weren't budgeted, but, and then the, attachment C had to do with the state of emergency, so to the end of September, we were sitting at just under 300,000, we're estimating it to be closer to the $500,000 mark when it's all said and done. I checked the GL just now, at the beginning of the meeting, we're at just under 421, that's been posted now.
So, well, do you wanna talk, maybe to let people know what actions you've taken to try and recoup some of this expense?
For sure. So we have actually spoken to the Minister of Infrastructure, both at the federal and provincial level, to request funding to help us out with the state of emergency. We have also applied for a grant that, we're always hopeful that we will be approved for, but it's highly unlikely since it's tied to housing. But yeah, we are lobbying constantly to our MPP to help gain us some assistance through Minister Patty Haidu's office and Lise Bourgeois. Just trying to gain some of these funds back so that it's not such a burden on the ratepayer or the township. Yeah.
Thanks for the update.
Thank
It's
you.
not happy,
Thanks, Marlon.
but it's thanks. Thanks for the work on the update. That was great. Thanks, Marlon.
Okay, number 9, Director of Operations report.
So further to the automation now discussion, we will be pushing our completion date into January. We've had some delays on some of the parts that we've ordered, but they, having said that, are making tremendous progress down there with the ESA upgrades. I have notified the inspector that it's possible that we would be pushing it into January, and he was fine with that, giving him the heads up. The unidirectional flushing and valve exercising was completed at the end of October. We've also had 6-inch valve fail on the main water main on Centennial Drive. But the public works crew did an amazing job, completed the entire job in one day without inconveniencing the residents too much. I think they were without water for 3 hours maybe, so it turned out really well. As a result of fixing that leak, we have seen an improvement of 2 liters per second in water savings, so it doesn't sound big, but it really is. That's a big win. So that's good news. Beavers have been taken care of up at the Second Cooks Lake. Just a heads up that we will add into the budget next year the culverts to replace at Second Cooks. They are really deteriorating. There's a lot left to them. But that's for 2025.
Tammy, I had a resident ask me or mention to me that the creek water looked muddy, not dirty muddy, but sandy muddy. And would open up these beaver dams, would that explain it?
I don't know that we've had enough rain over the last little while to raise the water level enough to cause it to come over the spillway. And there is water in the creek right now.
Okay.
So it's possible that the guys have been up there working on the beaver dams. It certainly would cause a disturbance in the water, but I need to check for them to make sure.
Okay. Thanks.
And then Testmark Laboratories made a small error in their reporting for September and July, and I was hopeful that it would change our running annual average enough to eliminate the AWQI that we had, but it didn't lower it quite enough. Insurance renewal is going well. All the forms have been submitted. I've got driver's abstracts now from all of the staff that drive town vehicles. So that's progressing well. You'll see later on your agenda that we got the fixed price rider for the propane. Street lights have been repaired. We are waiting for 2 more posts to be repaired, but Hydro has to do them, and it was my understanding that they were supposed to be here on November 7th. So I just have to check to make sure that that's been completed. I'm not sure if they were here or not.
No.
Okay.
No, well, they're not working.
Okay. And then the last item here is that we'll have to have input from council regarding the snow removal at the public school. we are faced with some, large challenges there. The vacant property that they are asking for permission to store snow on is, not a town-owned property. It's privately owned, so that's not available.
I understand that, that's okay, good information.
Yeah. And then, they've asked us to implement no parking on the school side of Ontario Street from the bus loading zone to the intersection. That actually works well for the plow drivers as well. We have installed the no parking signs already. We just have to now amend the parking bylaw to make it enforceable.
Tammy, did Jan Morrison have any input to the changing of that sign?
Yeah, we have talked, and where we're putting up helps him too.
So he's got no issue with
Yeah.
it? Okay.
His main concern is blocking that fire lane.
But this does not?
This helps keep it open.
Okay.
And then the last thing that they were asking for us to do is to reverse the direction of plowing snow on Ontario Street. And they want us to be done plowing Ontario Street before 8 o'clock because their contractor has to be done by 8 o'clock. And unfortunately, for all the reasons that I've listed in the report, it just doesn't work.
I read it. No, I read
Reading
it.
the rope makes sense.
I read it and it makes sense. But he's really only asking to change one side of Ontario Street to an earlier time. And I get why we can't do it. I guess my concern is it seems like such a simple thing to me. And when it has to do with the safety of children, I have concerns. I get why you're saying no, I do. But I think, I know last year, I think we sent a letter out to his working foreman. Is there a way that perhaps we can go and sit and talk and explain this in more detail?
Absolutely.
Because this, I don't know if anybody else has got any, I explained. I know that it's just, if you could take one swipe down the school side of Ontario Street, it would just be so much more helpful to them in managing, not having so many windrows when kids are getting dropped off on a bus. I know, I can read, I know why.
It does mean that I abandon the rest of the priorities on the snow maintenance plan. So my priority right away when the guys leave the yard is to make sure that the main drags are kept open for commuters and school buses. We want to make sure school buses can get around. That takes away from me going specifically to the school right at 7:30 to make sure that we're done there by 8 o'clock. And then once they get back on their routine, now I've delayed it all because I've changed the order. But now once I start circling the blocks again, they can't not do Ontario Street. They have to go down Ontario Street again. So if it is still snowing, they're still going to get a windrow. I can't avoid it. If I go by Ontario Street and I don't do Ontario Street a second time, now I'm leaving a windrow at the intersection. So now cars at a stop sign are stuck in the windrow. There's a process that we have to follow.
My thought was they come out, they take their plow, they go one swipe down in front of the school, stop at the intersection and go back down and start your normal run.
We've only got 3 guys.
And I know.
And the fact that they can get it all done in the way they do is pretty impressive.
I'm not, oh dude, listen, I 100% agree with you.
And on those
It
big
is
snows, and in all fairness, if we did get a huge dump of 4 feet of snow, they're not waiting till 7:30 to go plow it. They're out there at 5 a.m. So then it falls on their contractor to move the snow.
Yeah.
I go to a school every day in the middle of winter in snowstorms. Our snow's moved
Right.
before any buses or anything.
Yeah, their instructions with their contractor is he's gotta be off the school property by 8 AM.
Same with ours.
Mm-hmm.
We've never had an issue.
See, and yet at the public school, I've seen it because I've had to help move a child in a wheelchair last year because he was stuck in a windrow. Where it's been a big snowstorm. Their contractor's left by 8, and then the plows come by after. I understand the vice principal's concern. I do.
Yeah, I get it.
And I know that you can't change the whole way we do things. I get it, but perhaps if we can just spend some extra time explaining this.
I have replied to Mr. Hughes.
Yes, Andrew.
So he has asked for a map, and I don't have a map that we've drawn out all of our routes, but I could, with a map in hand, sit in front of him and show him what we're doing.
With a highlight, right?
Yeah.
If you wouldn't mind just sharing that information with them, and I get the policy, I do. It's just this has come up twice, and I just don't want to see something happen, God forbid, on that street. I think moving that no parking sign will have an impact.
Yes,
I do.
because then
honestly.
we can get the windrow over further
Yes, exactly.
if we're not going around cars.
That's right. Okay. Thanks, sir. If you will do that, I would appreciate it.
Okay, number 10, Sergeant propane fixed price.
So you'll see this year, they've quoted us, 0.595 for a fixed price, which has gone down over the last 3 years. 23, we paid 71 cents, 24, we paid 67 cents, and 25, we'll pay 59 cents. And it's based on the quantity of propane that we buy.
So you're buying more this year because of the new boiler.
Yeah,
And the price per propane, has it come down at all from last year, or is that part of it as well?
I'm not
The
sure,
actual market value, so,
I'm not sure what the market value is at.
I don't know, did yours come down?
I don't know. Did I?
It has? Good.
Well, up 70,000.
That's a good price.
Not even that hard.
Well, mine's higher than that. I probably don't get the volume you get, but mine's higher than that.
So our current rider expires November 30th, so we'll bring this back to the next meeting for the bylaw to enter
Yeah.
into the agreement.
I think we're all good with it.
We'll
Yeah. Sign that up, baby.
Okay, number 11. Direct operations for the wastewater treatment plant.
So I was tasked with making arrangements to procure an engineer that could perform a feasibility study at the wastewater treatment plant to determine if upgrades would get us out of trouble or if we are indeed better off to go with a new plant. We've asked them for a process assessment to determine if there's better processes out there that will help us meet our regulations on the effluent. That's where we're struggling right now. So obviously the bagging system is obsolete. We all know that. So if they can do an assessment of the process, they'll be better to tell us if we can just go with upgrades or if we need a new plant. Then we also have asked them to do a structural assessment. And the main focus of that is the concrete that has been failing in Clarifier 1. So we want to know what can be done there and what kind of condition it's in. So I created the RFP and I sent it out to 10 different engineering companies that I was able to find online that are local and have experience in wastewater. And then we also posted it on the Thunder Bay Construction Association website and our Schreiber website. We had a meeting at On October 30th at the site, we had 5 engineering companies come down for the tour of the plant and to determine the scope of work and see what kind of condition that we were in. And then I received 4 proposals. So you've got the list there that the now I am supporting the lowest cost, the lowest quoted price. But that individual is also the individual during the site meeting that asked all the questions. She asked all the right questions during that meeting and tour. She asked for the C of A. She asked for our non-compliance list. She asked for the what the capital list was that had been upgraded recently. She was just really on top of the questions and really invested on getting the accurate information to put together her report. And then if you look at the proposals that I received, they have as much experience as any of the other ones.
It's quite the range of prices. Like,
Just really,
yeah, it's hard to understand why there's that much of a range. But this
the only
company-
one I would suggest not going with is the very bottom one listed at 90,000.
Yeah.
And that one had a lot of extra costs in their proposal. So this wasn't included, that wasn't included, that sort of thing. So that one to me is too much of an unknown, but, and obviously the,
I'm quite comfortable going with your recommendation. Like you say, you asked all the right questions, like we've talked about this. And, yeah, you're comfortable with them, and they've got just as much experience as anybody else, so I'm very
It seems so,
comfortable
yeah.
with your recommendation.
Yeah, they've also done other work for us as well.
Yes.
Yeah, so.
Well, can you speak to why we're asking for this now and how we're gonna pay for this?
Sure. So there's a couple of grants that are available for us to apply for. However, you have to have these reports to send with your application.
Okay.
To show that you're kind of shovel ready. And if you don't have them, it makes your scoring for approval way less than what it would be if you did have it. So that's the reason for doing this now.
That makes sense.
Yeah, we almost have to have it. The cost for this, I mean, if we get, it depends on actually on which company council chooses to use, right? But I would assume that we could take the Creason amount out of our reserve if we had to pay for it.
so the only other thing that we need a decision from council is the, whether or not a special meeting will be necessary. In order for them to meet the timeline for the reasons that Rhonda just mentioned, I need to give them the okay this week to get going at it.
I'm glad you brought that up. First of all, we're all in agreement of Sammy's recommendation.
If it's to get grants, yeah.
I would say go ahead, but can I ask for the meeting on next Monday night? And there's a reasoning for that, but that'll.
Can I ask, we take an can we do this by email, Paul?
What?
Vote?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, never mind.
It would.
A meeting it is, baby.
Yeah, no, unfortunately.
Okay.
Cause we have, not so much a recorded vote, but we have to have it public.
Okay.
So we can get the go-ahead to the engineer company that will be entering a contract with them, and then we'll formalize it at a Monday meeting.
If we can do it Monday, and there'll be one other item on the agenda.
What time?
What time's good for you? 9?
None.
Oh.
Right after school, better for you?
Monday, next Monday?
Yeah.
Anytime, I'm gonna go to Calgary at some point next week, but I don't think it's Monday, so.
What's better for you, Dave, right after school or later?
My son has dance at 25. Yeah, like if it's gonna be quick, Like I could be here for like 3:15. Is it gonna be a long meeting?
Shouldn't be.
No, so if we do it right after school, is that okay?
Sure.
I'm good with that.
So Monday, November, what date is that? 18th at?
I can't, like, I left work at 2:50, so I don't think I could get here for 3. So I like 3:10, you can start.
3:50.
Yeah.
At 3:15 PM for a special council meeting?
Yep.
And you guys can have the stuff out within the 48 hours?
Yep.
Beautiful.
That works?
Yep.
That's what you need, that's all you need for tonight then?
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
Director of Operations, 5-year plan for the pavement and sidewalks?
So again, I was asked to develop a 5-year plan that would involve replacing the pavement in town and sidewalks. So I created an RFQ. So it was a request for quote for budgetary purposes only. So that's only to give you an idea of what kind of money you might be looking at to make this happen. If it's approved and we move forward with it, we would put it out to tenure for a more accurate price. But you have two options here. We got 2 respondents and both were very close in price. So the recommendation would be to budget 5.5 million over the next 5 years. The one company is the only one that was willing to take 5 equal payments to make it more affordable for us. And the other option is to carry forward the 5.5 per year until year 5, when you would execute and do the entire town in one, once you had the money up front.
Okay, so the cost to pave the town, is it 5.5 million or is it 25 million?
The cost to pave the town and replace sidewalks
Yeah.
is in the neighborhood of 30 million.
Okay. Because, no, Dave's laughing. No, because I just thought it's 5.5 million over the next 5 years, but then I saw it per year and I'm like, okay, wait a second. If I said 5.5 million, that's $1 million a year, but it's every year.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll just divide, what is it, 562 households into 30 million and figure out the taxes.
And then move.
And then move to Thunder Ridge.
Okay. But this gives you some place to start, does it not?
That's what it was for. Well, I shouldn't say that's, it was
Wild.
put in the strategic plan. Because that was the first thing that walked in the door that day of the strategic plan was the shape of the roads. So we gotta have it on the shelf. If it's on the shelf, we know that it's gonna cost between 26 and $30 million to replace every piece of pavement in this town, and the streets have 1 sidewalk on them, every street in town. In today's prices.
Right. But it's,
In 10 years from now, it'll probably be 35 to 40 million.
but
So-
was there funding available for something like this?
There is not,
Okay.
unless it's tied to housing again.
Okay.
So if we're gonna develop housing, for sure, then there is funding, but it would only cover the pavement and sidewalks in that development area.
So now that you have this dollar amount though, would you say, I want to, I'm just gonna throw something. I want to do half of Ontario Street because it's in really rough shape and it's a high-driven street. And since it's less than a kilometer, I think this is what it's gonna run us and run that as an individual project. Would you do it? And could you do it that way? That we would budget doing smaller sections and have you identify the very worst street and work on that one street.
Yeah, you absolutely can do it that way.
However,
However, that's where I was
Yeah.
at.
So I think though with that, and Tammy's probably gonna agree, is that when you're buying the asphalt in a smaller quantity, you're gonna pay more in the long run.
And
So-
if you do the whole
And
town
deploy,
that way, it's gonna cost you
mow
70
and
million.
demob every time.
Exactly,
Okay.
yeah.
So, yes, you could, but no, you wouldn't.
No,
Okay.
No.
Fair. Was just thinking outside the box. I know, I'm just trying to think, outside the box.
No, I was just
Couldn't do
thinking,
it.
I was just thinking of that patch today. Like, Benji's 100% right, like, they won't move their equipment to town to do one patch, but they're in Terrace Bay doing 6 or 7 patches, but they'll dump a load of hot mix on the pavement for us. Right?
Well, I'm working at that to find out. Corey was away today, but I need to have a conversation with him. It certainly would not be perfect to spread the asphalt with the loader and pack it with trucks, but it's better than gravel. Cause as a grader operator, the first few grades on ground that's not frozen and there's a valve in the middle of it, it's going to be very tricky and very,
No,
could be costly. So-
Spot probably grows too.
Yeah, so we wanna try and get some pavement on there, and to be honest with you, when they dug up that road, I mean, your thickness of pavement was less than an inch thick.
No, I think it's a great, I think it's a great idea, and I think the crew could do a good job with it.
Yeah, anything we can do there will help.
Yeah, no, I think that our crew could do a good job with it if they brought it in hot.
That's the trick with the temperatures outside right now.
Yeah, but I mean, we're supposed to have nice weather and all
Yeah,
that.
so,
If they brought it in hot and give the guys some time to work it, they'd do a good job.
So you have this pricing on the shelf. It doesn't stop you from looking at options annually, reviewing and saying, is there something we could do? Is there a new grant program?
of
Is
course, we're always looking for grants.
Okay.
Of course, yes.
So I realize there's no infrastructure and certainly for $30 million to pay. And just so that the residents know, we wouldn't have to raise your taxes where you have to sell your house. Because that's pretty expensive, 30 million.
But no,
But we know.
that's great
You
information.
know,
Like,
yeah.
how come, and we hear it all the time, and we're not disagreeing with them.
No.
Our pavement is in rough shape. But there are few and far between grants out there, and like Rhonda says, they're all tied to housing.
There's gotta be priorities, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for getting the information, Ted.
And do you need anything else with that one?
nope, not with that one.
Okay. Number 12, Township Accessibility Plan, 2024-2026.
So every year we have to review our accessibility plan. So I have done that. We've done a number of things to improve our accessibility and removing barriers within our township. We have replaced the door at the VR car on the Discovery Center and installed the door operator on that one. We've installed some door operators at the municipal complex here. One of the things that we discovered we were not compliant with was the compliance for transportation. So Erica Parent, that works at the McCausland Hospital that administers to the Handy Transit, I worked very closely with her and we developed an SOP that satisfies the compliance for transportation. So I've also included that here for your review as well. So we just have to have this accepted by council or revised as per your recommendations. And then this has to be on our website for public view.
So the only thing, Tammy, I would advise you is on page 5, your vision statement. You're using the correct old one. It needs to be updated to the strategic plan.
Which one are you talking about? The
Page 5,
of the accessibility plan
Yeah.
or the SOP?
the accessibility plan.
Okay. All right.
Multi-year accessibility plan.
Okay.
So you got description of township of Schreiber vision statement.
Yep.
You're using the old one. It needs to be changed. We just accepted strategic plan.
Okay.
The mission statement stayed the same. That's no big deal. But I would make that note. On page 7, communication of the plan. On the municipal website, www.schreiber.ca, So you're gonna post it on the website?
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna wanna make sure to take the old stuff off. Some of the stuff is kind of
Yes.
lingering around and it's outdating, it's dating itself, it's kind of hard to read. And then under Schedule A, under repair and maintenance, you've got ensure existing accessible equipment is in good repair. If you could just add some wording in there that denotes that you have a list of current accessible equipment, because it just looks like it was just components, you know what I mean? It's all in good repair. Well, what components and what was inspected? And I know that you've done inspections, so.
Yeah.
If you could just say that there's a list. And then the handy transit, if you could ensure that an updated brochure is on the website, because that information is sorely outdated.
We do have a new brochure.
I mean that. But like, I think the information that's on there, it has the wrong phone number for the hospital.
Okay,
Yeah, it needs to really, we need to take it off and put it back on.
okay.
And I don't know if anybody else has got any.
No?
And then council will have to consider having another handy transit committee meeting to go over this as well.
Okay. Okay, we're good with that then. Recreation and Festivals Committee meeting minutes.
Trying to pull it up there, I didn't attend the meeting, but.
Neither of you were
The
there.
mayor attended.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
That was in some, yeah, we haven't had, there hasn't been a meeting since.
Oh, September 9th, that's not that bad. That was good.
No, it was a good meeting, that was the first meeting, the Ruski girls, I believe that was their first meeting. It was a good meeting, good input from them, they were eager to go, probably still are.
They had a roll of their heritage days, that's awesome. That they took, like honestly, that's awesome.
No, it's got a good little, committee going there. Okay, recreation program and report for October then.
Yeah, this is just Evan's monthly report that he's been preparing for council. This is the report that the mayor was referring to with the community hall rentals that were no charge. Over the month of October, there was actually 5 rentals that we did not charge for the use of the hall.
Right, and I'm not saying these should have been charged, some of them are,
Like a funeral, we don't charge for
Right.
funerals, and that's a service that we do.
I was just referring,
That's
I
fine, yeah.
remember there was 4 or 5.
Gee,
Okay, so.
I'm gonna send something really unpopular. Okay, Veronica, I know that last year we talked about it, that being that we're in 2025 budget time.
Yep.
Last year was mentioned, and it was never moved on, but do you think it's possible for, like, the senior center and recreation, that there's some type of fee, even if it's $150 a day for hall rental, that can be expensed to the event and the revenue credited to the recreation hall revenue side?
So it's an in and out.
It's an in and out, it's not real,
Yeah.
it's not that it's not real money, it is a real expense and real revenue to kind of
Yeah.
bring to fruition, covering up some of the expenses that we have talked about earlier with the hall, with the increased heat and stuff. Tam, you had a report that you had, printed for us last year on how many rentals and how many were paid and what our expenses were.
Mhm.
Do you think you could forward a copy to that, to even to Rhonda? And maybe you guys can put it on the next
Sure.
council meeting?
Yep.
I just think it's something to look at.
Mhm.
Yep, for sure. Not from her.
And the other question I think I had was, how did ice scheduling go? Everybody happy?
Yes,
It's
that I'm aware of, yes.
Well, it seems to be good.
Yeah?
Yep.
Excellent.
Everything's, everything up there looked good.
Yeah, interesting. Excellent.
Okay, seniors, program coordinator report for July, August and September.
Yeah, so our last meeting was in October, so we had a good summer through Heritage Days. We had a lot going on with bocce ball, curling tournament, and pickleball tournaments. So we're busy through Heritage Days. Barbecues very successful this year. Started in May and ended in September 26th, 25 barbecues. So average attendance was 80 to 100. Pretty good. I went to quite a few of them, and they were well attended. Even in inclement weather, they were still well attended with the regulars. 32 teams for bocce ball during Heritage Days.
Wow. That was busy.
Yeah, the other one we had later.
It was good.
I think we had about half of that number, so it wasn't as. We had 14 teams from that tournament. Membership has increased. So currently we have 485 members.
Wow, Dad.
114 new members.
That's amazing.
So we've already started a membership drive this year.
Wow.
At the luncheons, we had a luncheon in November, and we had a membership drive there. We'll continue with that in another luncheon we're having at the end of November. So it's going really good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But you guys can't wait to be a senior, huh?
Nowadays.
We had fun there.
I know, it's
Oh,
true,
yeah,
I do.
the high tea, that was,
It was awesome.
that was incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody came dressed up, and they were having a heck of a time, and nobody wanted to leave, so,
See, that's good. That's awesome.
yeah.
That was good.
But you didn't know there was that many fascinators in this town.
No, I didn't. And our senior of the year, she was surprised.
Yes.
And it was late to give that award out this year. It was really late because she was out of town for the summer, but really happy.
Yeah.
Really happy for her. So. Hard worker in our community.
Okay, number 17, or you gonna, that was included
Yeah,
too,
that
Dan?
was.
Okay. Schreiber Public Library.
These are from September.
Yeah.
So they discussed not hosting a lunch during Heritage Days every year. They vary with the money on that, so that they're just gonna want another organization to kind of do it, and kind of revisit it every second year. Other than that, yeah, that's when we discussed doing the presentation to council, and
That was awesome.
a co-op student started, so that's good. He's a great kid. So everything's just, it's going well at the library. We did have, it'll be on the October minutes, but we did have someone resign from the board, so that's what Brenda was mentioning, that you'll see. I mean, you might have seen a posting that they were looking for a new member, so interested applicants, that'll get forwarded to the council and approved based on the board's recommendations.
Okay. You're good there then? Okay. Xmas Jamboree.
Tammy, do you want to talk to it or?
Sure. This is something new that we thought we'd give a try. So we're thinking about a Christmas parade that we call all residents, businesses, and organizations to join in the parade. There would be float, there would be prizes for the best float and best decorated personal vehicle if residents wanted to get into the parade. Then as they get to the community hall, there would be the family skate that's available. They would have the hall set up with a number of games that the kids could engage in. And he would have a poutine bar that they would sell French fries at the concession in the hall. And then in the arena, they would also ask if the figure skating club wanted to open up the concession in the arena. So he's included a budget here for you to consider. And I think his target date was December 22nd is what I think that's what he told me.
Yeah, you floated a couple dates.
Yes.
That
What day of the week is that? Just out of curiosity.
Sundays.
Sunday.
That's a good plan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, there's really no other date. Well, to be honest, that didn't conflict with something else. But I don't know if this conflicts. I just, yeah. If you wanted to do it the weekend before, yeah. And then that was when a lot of people are in town because the dance studio's doing a nutcracker, and the
Oh.
following weekend's an actual dance recital on it. For the dance company is on the 21st, and I think that's lady was the 22nd. I'm not sure if there's not material with that, but they don't think so.
I don't.
They don't usually go that close to Christmas.
So this would be a first time event, right?
Yeah, so yeah.
I think that's an awesome idea.
Yeah, lots of ideas for games.
I think it's good. Nice to try something new.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's off when it's supposed to be
Yeah.
after Christmas, but they'll probably still be home. No one will be taken off, so.
Yeah.
Hopefully it gets a good turn.
Exactly. Yep.
The planning is there, the budget is there. I mean, he's obviously thought about it. I think it's great.
Yeah, we're gonna try and see.
Yeah.
So we're good with it, move ahead now, okay. Yeah, number 20, the Public Works furnace.
The Public Works has two boilers in the garage. One of the boilers has failed. It's leaking antifreeze and is not repairable. One boiler doesn't produce enough BTUs for the colder weather. It's maintaining the garage okay right now, but it hasn't really gotten cold yet either. Cloud Darling has quoted a price to replace the furnace, and that price does include the installation.
So that's the new furnace installed.
Yeah.
Tammy, what budget does this come out of? Does it come out of Public Works or does it come out of buildings?
It'll come out of buildings.
Okay, out of buildings. You got a positive variance. At the end of September, your year-to-date expenses on buildings overall was $204,000. We have a budget of $303,000. Do you know how close you're going to be to that? At the end of September, you still had roughly $100,000 left.
Yeah, most of my capital projects are all completed now, so
I'm thinking, do we have the money in operating put this furnace through the operating? Do you think we will? Or do you think you're gonna spend $100,000 on buildings between now and the end of December?
I don't think that we would.
You need a furnace, you can't have public works working with no heat. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
What?
Well, I thought it'd be more expensive for the furnace, to be honest.
Yeah.
This price isn't.
But 100%.
It's a lot, but I thought it'd be more.
12,700 is installed.
Yes.
I mean, if you want to, I don't, Rhonda, what you're thinking, wait and see if we got the money out of operating before we go back to capital?
For sure, definitely.
Like,
I would
no,
think so.
I'm serious.
Yeah.
I'm asking, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that we're gonna spend the remainder of that budget. I would definitely wait and see. Well, put the furnace in, but like,
Yeah,
well,
that's what we're taking.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, thankfully it hasn't
Yeah.
been that
No.
horrible cold, yeah.
Yeah.
And how long, sorry Tammy, how long before they can get it here?
Well, I need to, get a hold of them tomorrow and get it ordered ASAP, but this is a fairly common, boiler, so I think the turnaround time should be fairly quick.
Excellent.
Okay. Move on to communications then. We got the thank yous there, 5, 6, 7.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
That's nice news from the affordable energy, future affordable energy. Especially for maybe future projects that we're looking at, don't you think?
Yeah.
Does anybody want an update from the Winnipeg District Social Services? They, honestly, the minutes are nice, but check the newsletter out. That's pretty concise and that's really what's been going on. Item number 13. Have we already done that, Rhonda? Have we? Some of these I think we've already supported, but this is resolution for increasing Canada community build.
I don't think, maybe before April when I started, maybe. I don't remember it myself. Mrs. Hill? Yeah.
It's a Township of Water Lake asking them to give us more infrastructure funding. I don't think that's a bad one.
No. that's not a
Support.
bad one to support.
And number 15.
Yeah.
What's your thought, Mayor, about NOMA's implementation of the Ontario Forest Industries?
Supporting that resolution.
Yeah.
I think we should, it's a NOMA resolution. We're part of NOMA.
Yeah, no, I think we should.
Yeah. So we'll support that. I don't know if anybody else saw anything else.
Okay, hearing nothing else, we'll move on to unfinished business then. 2024 Township Christmas Social. Christmas party planner. And
Cecilia, you need that invitation list finalized by tonight, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, they have to go out this week or else there won't be enough time for responses.
Okay. We'll get that done for you. And the quote for the music has changed, you said?
Yes.
Okay.
We need a decision also on the quote for the meals.
Okay.
There's 2 quotes.
Okay. What do you guys like? What do you think?
They're both really good. Actually, the prices.
Is it two different restaurants?
Yes. Yeah. And two different menus.
No, I'm going with the $50 one, the first one.
Number one?
Yeah, there's a price difference, and like I say, they're both pretty good. The only difference.
Well, I mean, nothing against Reed, that's for sure. We've done 3
Yeah.
4 years, so I'm just to change it up. Like
Yeah.
Reed's price ain't outrageous either.
Yeah.
Mine is just to change it up.
Yeah.
More.
Dan?
Yeah, I'm good with number one.
Yeah, no, Reed was.
So option one?
Yeah.
And the decorations are a little bit more difficult.
Okay.
So the quote that is there's a quote for the table decor and for the decorations, which is what council rented last year.
So that was kind of my question. These amounts here are exactly what we did last
The
year. right?
pricing did not change.
Okay.
So those are same pricing as last year. But that will get you your table decor and the backdrop. Only.
Oh, we set it up.
But your chargers
We
are,
set it up? Or is-
We do that. Right,
This-
Sue?
So
We
that-
have
that's,
to
the,
book
that's,
tables.
that's the first thing.
Okay, sorry.
So
chargers are candy cane, they're changed now?
the chargers are the plastic plates that go underneath.
Oh, it's, what,
Yes.
and centerpiece, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the center, yeah, it's a candy cane theme this year. So that will get you the table decor and the backdrop only.
And that's what we had last year.
That's what we had last year.
Okay.
So in order to provide, she said for basic Christmas themed props and decorations around the hall, a few things from the ceiling, such as snowflakes or whatever, would be an estimated additional $500,000.
Oh my God.
$500,
That's a party.
which
Okay.
does not include any of her setup costs. She said it's easier if council makes a decision as to a dollar amount that they want to spend on decorations above the basic that you're getting for
Above the table stuff.
above the table stuff and the backdrop. If you can give her a dollar amount, and then she can come up with a plan of additional things to provide. Otherwise, you're getting only the table decor and the backdrop.
I'm, what's that?
What they?
You know what I'm thinking, go ahead,
So
what am I
So
thinking?
that's the first thing, is do you want more decorations?
Yes,
To what dollar amount are you willing to? She said $500 was basic. Like some reindeer and some stuff around the hall, some things hanging from the ceiling.
no, I'm saying $500-600.
You do care.
Whatever.
So the additional 500 then?
Oh, that's just me speaking.
What's the budget?
Yeah.
Well, we got $2,000, we know that.
I know, we did. We had a look. We do have some money left. And hold on, I got that here. And oh, here it is, right here. In council PR, we've got money left for it. I'm just, you know me. What am I going to say? I would rather not spend it. I would rather we go down there and do it ourselves, so I don't have to spend it. But that's what I think.
But you also keep in mind, do not have decorations.
Yeah, we got nothing there.
Did someone go down and actually have a good solid look to see what was in that
Not to
closet?
my knowledge, no, but
No.
pretty much the opinion is they're garbage.
Everything's garbage.
It's
Yeah,
garbage.
I gotta agree with Cecile, everything's garbage. The
Yeah.
trees were bent in half yet last year,
Yeah,
we
we
probably
struggled.
bent in 5 pieces this year.
We struggled last year. Yeah.
I do, but you'd be surprised what duct tape can do. And you didn't even see it.
Doesn't
So, here's my recommendation, I went through this,
You love decorating?
I talked to Kathy. If they put the decorations, and that's the only time Edith can put the decorations up, is then the seniors club will get them too. And somebody's gonna have to pay for them, and Kathy will not pay for them. She'll only pay for a backdrop. That's fine, that's her prerogative. So Edith can't put them up.
Oh, so this is a whole other issue besides how much we want to spend.
First is how much do you wanna spend?
Okay.
Yeah, so Edith can't put them up. So then I see that price for Nora to set the tables, which I'm in agreement with, by the way. And so why wouldn't I reach out and say, ask Nora, or not me, but why wouldn't we reach out and ask Nora to give us a price on decorating the hall on Thursday night or Friday?
I think there's conflict of interest.
Explain, Rhonda.
No.
Okay,
No.
so that's not explained, all right.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as putting this,
Well, okay, well, I'll reach out, maybe I shouldn't have said a name, reach out and, Beth Ann. We know people that can decorate.
like putting tablecloths and centerpieces on tables, I can do that. That's not a whole lot. Well, I could do that, honestly.
So could Nora, so we don't have to.
Oh my goodness. Okay, well then, you know what, get Cecile to get quotes.
Okay, so first things first, again,
How much do you want to
what do you
spend?
want for decorations?
We're back to how much you want to spend.
Because we can't get any quotes from anybody to do this until you tell me what it is that you want to spend on decorations.
I'm saying $500-600.
Good with that.
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
It's a lot of Christmas lights.
Okay,
That's not a lot.
so we're going to go with an additional $500,
Okay.
which
Or
will get.
six.
Or 6.
Oh my God, Cecile.
I'm upset.
Oh, okay. So, as of October 21st, just so we're clear,
So hold on,
council PR budget had approximately $5,000 left in it. Do not spend it all on Christmas or I'll have a heart attack.
We could probably get live reindeers.
Okay, for God's sakes.
okay, so $500 or $600 additional.
Correct.
Okay, so do you want the decorations put up Monday and Tuesday?
Ooh.
Or do you want us to get a quote to have the decorations put up by somebody else on the Thursday, Friday?
Well, Kathy said she wouldn't pay for the.
The senior program coordinator has advised that they are prepared to contribute only to the cost of the backdrop.
Correct. So if we got $500 or $600 extra, she's not gonna pay for the decorations.
No.
So that's why I'm saying, and I shouldn't have said a name, that's why I'm saying we have to ask a couple people to decorate for us.
Okay, so you want a quote?
And that they could decorate Thursday or Friday.
Oh, our
One
Christmas
thing
party is the
we
13th.
don't have to contend with is the CPR train this year.
Okay, so you would like
That's
a
true.
quote for decorations to be put up on Thursday, Friday. After the senior committee is done with their Christmas social. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay,
Seems you're a chance. See, now I think you guys are chance.
okay,
Excuse me.
um,
And yes, we want the table decor, and yes, we want dinner direct
Okay.
decorations. That's just sales quote.
and are you okay then with the quote for the setting of the tables?
Yes.
Yeah, I am.
That's so much money in council PR promotions, so.
Okay,
And if I had said there was $50, and then what would you have done? I should have said there was $50 in there.
You did?
Okay, so we will have for the next meeting then, the quotation for putting up the decorations.
Okay. And you need this list from us tonight too, the invitation list, right?
Well, if you don't do it to the next,
No, we'll do it tonight.
Sure, no, she
we'll
needs
not
it.
have a social.
No, we will do it tonight. Okay. So there.
Okay,
See where I am?
that's it for that. So we move to just making sure, let's look at
Other
the,
business?
the event planner,
Oh,
that's it.
Cecile, is that all you need?
Yeah, we're good for tonight.
Good for tonight?
Yeah,
Okay.
once I get the listing,
Yeah.
I can send those out, and the tickets are here already, they're ready to go, so. Once the invitations go out, then we can start selling tickets at the front counter.
They're good looking invitations too. Okay, other business, draft temporary borrowing for 2025 operating.
This is a standard bylaw you guys pass
Yeah.
every year.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of, it's a formality, just in case something should go wrong and we don't get any money from any government body next year, you can still afford to operate.
That's right.
That's to operate, so your taxes start coming.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So everybody's
I don't know,
good
we're
with that,
very
that's
used.
only,
That's all it is.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, number 2 then, Roma Municipal Delegation Requests. Mr. Lecce.
Just gonna say, Rhonda, who have you got on your list of hot contacts?
I'm gonna have, do we reach out to Rob and ask him if to come too?
Rob
Parsons?
Windmill.
Parsons.
If we did know, would we have to pay?
No, I don't, where's he, New Brunswick, right?
Yeah.
Newfoundland, I think, but we don't know. I think he has an office in Toronto. I think.
I think we let him know what we're doing, then maybe let him.
Yeah, if he would,
We've gotten a copy of that letter from Leachy about the new energy and we're gonna increase energy by 2030 and
Oh,
do you
yeah.
think he knows about
oh
that?
yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah, so that would be, you
For
could
sure.
use that letter, I think that's a perfect book, don't you
So
think?
Yeah.
who would you wanna meet with him,
Who, with Rob?
yeah,
Lecce.
who's?
Minister
he's the
of Energy.
Energy.
Minister of Energy, okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking, yeah, the IESO or, they're gonna be there too, so,
No, I mean, we could do that too.
yeah.
We could definitely do that too.
I mean, for sure, Minister of Infrastructure.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
What do
Yeah,
you think about municipal affairs?
On housing?
that's Kalanga,
yeah,
yeah.
Same
Too.
reason. I know he says it's only weather, but maybe they could stretch it, I don't know.
yeah, okay.
He said he would help us, at
Yeah,
Roma conference, he
Yeah.
said he would help us with funding other than housing enabled.
Yeah.
Housing enabled funding.
Okay.
I think we gotta talk to Kinga too.
Yeah,
How many are you allowed to put in?
3.
What about doctors? Are we getting anywhere with the
Don't
doctors?
you? Good point, Dan.
Oh, he was supposed to call today, did not. No.
No, you were supposed to call yesterday.
Yeah,
You were supposed to call yesterday.
and didn't. Shoot.
Okay, but no,
Yeah.
we've been a little busy.
Yeah.
Just 11.
Oh, my goodness, if they're all about that, I'll try and reach out tomorrow.
Minister of Health, but how many are you allowed to put in for?
3. We're at 6.
Okay, 5 or 6.
And I think, like what we did when we went to Ottawa to have, excuse me, those handouts ready to go and be able to pass every single last one of them off to a minister. It's awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
Honestly. That worked out really well.
No, that was,
Because all you had to do was be a minister and go up to Ron and say, "Hi, how are you?" And you were getting a package, and that worked out wonderful.
Yeah.
that was a good one. So we good with them three? That's the three main ones, I guess.
Exactly, yeah. Well, that we could use help with anyways. Yeah. Cause even if it's not wastewater, I mean, just infrastructure in general.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Just not enough funding. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so. Okay, we're gonna have to,
You're gonna, yeah, you might as well do it now.
yeah, I'm just gonna say that. So resolution. Into it first, or
You
we
might
can
as well
do that
you
now,
might as well
right?
do that now. You're gonna be
Okay,
past it.
resolution 293-24, moved by Councilor McGrath, seconded by Councilor Bryson, that the meeting be extended for a maximum of 1 hour to 11 p.m. All those in favor? Carried. Resolution, what was that?
No, sorry.
Yeah, you agree.
Okay, 294-24, moved by Councilor Bryson, seconded by Councilor Bergeron, that the closed meeting resume at this time. All those in favor?